Derrick had always been an aficionado of antiques. His collection included 18th-century oil paintings, centuries-old books, and even artifacts from ancient civilizations. But nothing could have prepared him for the strange inheritance he would receive from an unknown relative. One morning, a letter adorned with an ancient seal arrived at Derrick's apartment. The message was from an attorney, stating that a distant relative had passed away and left Derrick an heirloom that had been in the family for generations. Intrigued, Derrick visited the attorney's office the next day. The item in question was a silver pendant with a crescent moon design, encased in a box made of dark, aged wood. The attorney handed Derrick a worn-out letter that accompanied the pendant. It read, "To he who inherits the moon's curse, be wary. Only wear this pendant on the darkest of nights, lest the beast within emerges. I pass this to you with both a blessing and a warning." Derrick chuckled. Old families always had their tales and superstitions. He thanked the attorney, left his office, and decided to wear the pendant immediately, dismissing the warning as a mere folktale. The next night was a full moon. Derrick was invited to a late-night gathering in a woodland cabin, a perfect setting to show off his unique heirloom. As the night progressed, Derrick's mood began to shift. He grew increasingly agitated, his senses became razor-sharp, and the sounds of the forest became deafening. Suddenly, a surge of pain erupted throughout his body. His heart raced as the transformation began. His bones cracked, reshaping his human form, while his skin stretched and tore, replaced by thick fur. His screams of agony terrified the other guests as they witnessed the horrific metamorphosis. By the time the transformation was complete, a massive wolf, with piercing silver eyes, stood where Derrick once was. In his lupin form, his human memories and emotions faded, replaced by primal instincts. One by one, the guests became prey, their screams echoing through the woods. By dawn, the cabin was silent, with only signs of struggle and gore. Derrick, now human again, lay amidst the aftermath, his mind shattered by the horrifying realization of his actions. Panicking, he fled the scene, wandering aimlessly through the woods, trying to distance himself from the horrors he'd inflicted. The guilt was unbearable. His life had changed forever. Determined to find answers, Derrick researched his family's history. He learned of an ancestor who was rumored to be a werewolf, a beast who brought terror upon villages during full moon nights. The pendant, it seemed, wasn't just symbolic, but a tool of restraint, designed to suppress the curse. The instructions had been clear: it should only be worn on the darkest of nights, when the moon's power was at its weakest. Desperate for a remedy, Derrick sought out a local historian named Ms. Lillian, who was known for her vast knowledge of local myths. She was old, her eyes cloudy, yet there was a sharpness to her demeanor. "Ah, the pendant of the Leakin," she murmured upon seeing the heirloom. "You've unleashed a curse that's been dormant for generations." Derrick pleaded for a solution, his voice trembling with despair. Lillian looked deep into his eyes. "There is a way," she began, "but it comes with a heavy price. You must sacrifice that which you love the most." The only thing Derrick loved, truly loved, was his younger sister, Emily. The thought of losing her was unbearable. Days turned into weeks, and as the next full moon approached, Derrick grew more desperate. He decided to confine himself to his basement, believing that if he could restrain himself physically, no harm would come to others. Emily, concerned about her brother's recent behavior, discovered the chains and restraints Derrick had set up in the basement. She confronted him, demanding answers. With tears in his eyes, Derrick recounted his horrifying experience and the impending doom that awaited. Emily, always protective of her elder brother, refused to leave him. "Together, we will face this curse," she declared. The night of the full moon arrived. Derrick, chained and restrained, felt the transformation begin. As his form began to change, Emily, showing immense courage, stepped forward, holding the pendant high. With a voice full of love and determination, she chanted words she had learned from Lillian, invoking ancient powers. The pendant glowed brightly, enveloping the transforming Derrick in a blinding light. The pain was intense, yet Derrick's transformation halted, leaving him in a state between man and beast. Emily, with tears streaming down her face, approached her brother, touching the pendant to his forehead. There was a blinding flash, and when Derrick opened his eyes, he was fully human. The pendant had fused onto his skin, its crescent moon marking him forever. The curse had been contained, but the pendant could never be removed. Derrick, free from the curse's grip, realized the true sacrifice Emily had made. She hadn't sacrificed her life but the close bond they shared. The ancient ritual had transferred a portion of the curse onto her. Now, both siblings bore the burden, bound forever by the mark of the crescent moon. Years passed, and while the siblings managed to live relatively normal lives, they always remained vigilant. On every full moon night, they stood side by side, the power of the pendant and their unbreakable bond keeping the beast at bay.